Johnson. Sanders had the most yards of anyone in that group. He was just shy of 1,500. So repeating the kind of season Saquon Barkley just had is historically pretty much impossible. Tim, what kind of chance do you give Saquon to do that or approximate it with this Eagles team this year?
Yeah. Well, I would say, better than the rest or the average, because he's just so uniquely talented. Plays, with an offensive line that, you could argue is, the best in the game. And then you have a quarterback that's a threat as a runner. So, and I would also say this, with the change in offensive coordinator, just put yourself in those shoes. All right, you just won a Super Bowl. Coordinator got a head coach. You're filling in. What's your best chance to not get booed out of Philadelphia? It's to give the ball to 26. I don't think there's going to be a pitch count on Barkley. I think that it is feed him, starting early in the season. I think he'll be up over 370 touches once again. And if you give him that type of volume, I think there's a very good shot he's extremely productive once again.
I would agree, Tim. I think it is repeatable, quite honestly. Now, Kevin Patula, the new offensive coordinator, has been there. He was there for the Super Bowl. He understands the way that Kellen Moore got this offense going with Saquon. So I don't expect them to change it that much. Quite frankly, they found the recipe for success, and it is put the ball in the hands of Saquon Barkley. The other component to this that could actually add to it is if teams do somehow decide to figure out, I know they haven't yet, to stop the tush push, you could actually see Saquon's touchdown totals go up even higher. So to me, I know it sounds crazy, but I don't necessarily know that we've seen Saquon's ceiling. It was obviously a historic season, but I think that that's just because this is an historic player.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing with Saquon Barkley and kind of what he was able to achieve and how historic it was, and thinking that you can kind of just casually repeat that, right? Like it's significantly easier said than done. And I think so much of it is going to come down to actually how great are the Eagles as a team more than anything, and how close are the games, where are they at? Because in 2024, when they won the Super Bowl, there was still a lot of exploring and trying to figure out what needs to be done. How do we win? How do we maximize? How do we make this all fit together? Recognizing, whoa, our defense is awesome. Our defense is better than we've had it in years. How does that dictate how we want to, design and game plan our offense? Because they were very much in constant conversation with one another. Greg Cosell talked a lot about how this defense is what completely dictated how they wanted to play offensively and whatnot. And so to me, it's just like, are they able to continue that party? Does this defense continue to be as dominant or even better than it was last year? How will this offense evolve and change a little bit? Because it is going to have a little bit of a different rhythm to it from a play calling perspective. You're literally having a new play caller, and I still think you obviously have the formula for what the Philadelphia Eagles want to do, but like anything, things have to evolve. There is no just this set X plus Y equals Z. That's all you got to do. Boom, 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 boom. It's just not going to be that straightforward. Now, will there be a pitch count on someone like a Saquon Barkley? I actually think I think it depends. I really do. I think at first you were trying to it was all kind of all hands on deck to win the Super Bowl. And it was just kind of like go, 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 go. And I think this season, the Eagles, as they just now are coming off of two Super Bowls in the last 3 years, and obviously winning one, they all now also have a deeper understanding of what the playoffs are, the importance of health, the importance of being as fresh as you possibly can. And I wonder if some of these little moments that we're just not as aware of until the season really gets going, that if they are up by like 14 points or 10 points, whatever it is, that Saquon Barkley does get a little bit less in that fourth quarter or something. Or if they are kind of up big going into the second half, do you see a little bit less? Like I don't know. And I'm not saying one way is necessarily right or wrong, but I just think that they have the playoffs in their mind, and they have not only getting to a Super Bowl but winning a Super Bowl in their mind. Like that is obviously the intention. Last year you were like, we're coming off a rough year in 23, a rough playoff loss. We're trying to put this all together. We're trying to figure it out. We're going through some adversity, and when you go through the adversity without the deep belief that you've won a Super Bowl, it becomes a little bit murkier. It's a little bit more confusing to have to navigate through. There was the media was trying to get Nick Sirianni fired, Jalen Hurts benched, right? Like things got, kind of crazy. You're going to go through adversity, of course, this coming season. You're guaranteed to, but it's going to be different because you're going to be like, we won a Super Bowl. We know what we're all capable of achieving. We know what the goal is right now. We know truly that when we're at our best, we actually literally by definition dominate. And so it's in a lot of ways, it's almost like a more delicate balance to be able to get there again in a way that puts you in the best possible position to kind of keep winning, because there's more at stake now, because people also truly, they understand now, like what can your team achieve? It's winning a Super Bowl. It's winning a Super Bowl. We everybody knows that now. What Saquon Barkley is capable of doing, what AJ, what Devontae, Jalen, Sirianni, Fangio, like you know what everyone is capable of. You won't be able to be in a position where you can question and say, is this team good enough, etc., etc. So I think like trying to predict kind of how these games will unfold next season is just different. And I don't think that the Eagles are the type of team that's like, we're here to send a message. We're here to do anything beyond just get the win. They're not the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions wanted to send a message. They wanted to let everyone know how great they are, how innovative they are. That much is very obvious. Just watch how they played the Dallas Cowboys. Kansas City Chiefs were like, we want to go undefeated. They clearly wanted to go undefeated. That's like, that much is so obvious. Just look at how they went berserk when they blocked that field goal. It was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like they wanted an undefeated three-peat season. That much is very obvious. The Baltimore Ravens are obsessed with trying to show everyone just how great Lamar Jackson is. The Buffalo Bills are just kind of like, hey, we got Josh Allen. Hopefully he can figure it out. But like the Eagles are just like, we're just here to win. We don't really care about anything else. We're not trying to highlight that Saquon Barkley can do it again. We're not here to try to highlight that Jalen Hurts can throw for over 400 yards. We're not here to make sure that A.J. Brown gets 120, 120, 110, 150. Like we're not here to do that. We're not here to do that. We're not here to prove that our defense can, shut out a team just because we want it to be really cool that we shut out a team. Like, no, like we're just here to win. That's how the Philadelphia Eagles very much play and have their game plans unfold, which is why when they do kind of start to pile on the points a little bit, like as the games went on throughout the season, it wasn't like you didn't see a big change in play calling. You didn't see them start to take aggressive shots down the field. You didn't see them when a team was clearly reeling a little bit. You didn't see them be like, we got you now, and then now we're taking a big shot. Like you didn't really see that. The most they did that, ironically, was in the Super Bowl. But that was even like more of a like, and as you heard Sirianni say, like on the mic when he was just like, if we score here, it's just over. So it wasn't even trying to like, we're trying to send a message, but like we're in a position where we can take a shot now. We can take a big chance, and if it doesn't go well, it's not going to like completely, cause us to crash and burn. But if it goes right, the game's over. Like it's just we're going to win. And that's what they did, obviously. Whereas you see other teams, they just want to keep going and going and going and going and going. Saw the Ravens do that against the Bills. Like I said, the Lions against the Cowboys, Lions against like Jags. Like you see that. The Eagles do not do that. They really don't. They obviously do not care. So that's my long-winded way of saying that, like, if they are just as great as they were last season, then I think we will very much see similar numbers for everyone involved, whether it's Jalen Hurts, Saquon, AJ, whatever, but maybe even potentially tapered down just ever so little. Because I did think you felt the energy of like Saquon is on pace to break this record. There is that feeling of wanting to break. You even had Sirianni go to Saquon, especially like against the Giants. Hey, you could break this record, etc., etc. I think it's just about Super Bowls. I think it's just all about being healthy, getting into the playoffs, and trying to repeat, right? Trying to build something special, like Saquon said himself, trying to build a dynasty. I really think that's what it's all going to be about. And I can all but guarantee you the Eagles will deal with like concrete adversity this coming season, a random injury, someone going down for like 5-6. It's like that always happens. So things are always going to kind of change in a lot of ways. They were kind of the Eagles were in a weird, perfect situation with their injuries. AJ, Devontae going down, Dallas Goedert, like they all went down at the right time. Even Jalen Hurts getting concussed, like even when they got injured, it was kind of like perfect timing, right? I mean, like it was all kind of perfect. You can't expect it to all be perfect again this coming season. So what type of question marks will arise become impossible. But I think what I am confident is there's going to be no feeling of like, got to get these numbers. Well, Saquon is having this large in life season. You know, we want to kind of keep that party going. It's good for camaraderie. It's not now. What's good for camaraderie is just getting the W and getting a Super Bowl. Like it's like there would have been a little bit of a silver lining last year if they lost, but Saquon Barkley had this, record-breaking year, and it would have been special. Still would have been great, but it's just like it's all about winning rings. It really is. So, but those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles? Do you think it's possible that Saquon Barkley can have an even better year this coming season? And how do you think the Eagles will kind of handle this coming season? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.